I think that one of the worst things that could happen to a guy is for him to live his entire life without ever experiencing what it's like to have good or at least decent social skills and communication skills. Because that's an entire part of your life, this entire social part that you're never really going to get to experience, or at least never really going to learn to navigate and just flow through naturally. And that's such a shame because it's such a nice thing being able to go meet anyone, speak to anyone, hang out with anyone, talk to anyone without any anxiety and do it pretty competently and confidently. But something that also is pretty bad, which isn't as bad as never doing it in your life, never leveling up your social skills, but it's pretty bad, is kind of doing it a bit too late. Now, don't get me wrong, it's never too late to improve yourself. Even if you're 60, 70 years old, it's always a nice thing to go and improve your social skills. But doing it in your teenage years, like especially like early teenage years, if you're able to actually level it up and then live the rest of your teenage years with this social confidence, being able to speak to anyone, pick up girls and everything, makes life a million times more fun, more enjoyable, easier, and less stressful. And so, for that reason, I wanted to make this video where I will literally not waste your time too much. I wasted a bit by now, but not waste it too much. Just tell you this one single thing that has helped me improve my communication skills, social skills, which I've been practicing for the past 3.5 years, and it's gotten me to this point where I'm just fluent basically in talking to anyone, anywhere. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. I get no social anxiety. It's completely dealt with all of those things. And that simple practice, which I did almost every single day for the past 3.5 years, was just speaking to strangers. That's it. Cold approaching strangers, random people on the street, and just starting a conversation with them. It doesn't have to be that in depth. You don't have to think about it too much. The best way to implement this advice is to turn off your brain and just go speak to some strangers. Just say hi to the 10 strangers that you see first that you first come up to on the street. Just hi, how's your day going? That's it. Do that to 100 different people, and your social skills will be 10 times better. Keep doing that. Now you speak to different kinds of people. Now you start speaking to girls, to attractive girls. Now you start getting their Instagrams and going on dates with them. And you do all of this, and it improves every aspect of communication skills, both picking up girls and speaking to people in business or hanging out with your friends or being social, being friendly. And everything just builds, that's the foundation. Everything else gets built from that, but it's basically just speak to more people. If you want to get better at speaking to people at your work, for example, business meetings or whatever, do more of that. Just speak to more people there. If you want to get better at picking up girls, speak to more girls, pick up more girls. It's as simple as this. It's the brain dead thing that I feel like most guys, when they hear it, they're gonna be pretty annoyed because they thought there was some magic pill that you can just take and now boom, you have great social skills. No, there's no book that you can read that will just give you good social skills. You can read stuff like Models by Mark Manson or How to Win Friends and Influence People, but if you just read the books, okay, now you know the theory, but if you don't put it into practice, you still are scared when you speak to people. You have too much anxiety to implement any of these tactics, and they're basically worth nothing. It's just useless information. Like you're in school learning the useless information, you're doing the same thing here. And that's not what we're doing here. We're implementing stuff to actually improve our lives. And another thing is, it's kind of annoying when I think about the fact that the reason that you have to watch a video like this and the reason that I had to go and read tons of books and watch probably hundreds of hours of content on this exact topic is all because we got this entire kind of part of our lives, this social part we should have had in our earlier lives when we were younger. We got that part stolen from us by these big social media, video game companies, which were designed in such a way where it was like just steal as much of your time and attention as possible. And when I look at myself, but you're probably in the same situation, when you think back on your 9-year-old self who had the option of going out and meeting people and hanging out with his friends, which is kind of hard. You gotta meet people and talk and go out of your house and everything, and staying inside and watching PewDiePie all day. Option number two was way more comfortable and easier, and that's the decision or the option that I always kept choosing again and again. Essentially, literally just deleting any sort of resemblance of having a social life in my earlier years. And for that reason, when I became a teenager and when life eventually caught up with me, which it always does, I needed to start watching these kinds of videos in order to improve my communication skills. And I needed to start, I literally started from square zero. Like, I knew nothing. I couldn't even speak to most people, like, at all. My brain would just turn off and stop working. And so it has to make you at least a little bit mad to think about the fact that these companies, these mega corporations, literally stole this entire part of our childhoods. And that's the entire reason that I made this video and that I made this entire channel, is to help other guys who are pretty similar to me, who had similar childhoods, who got their social lives kind of stolen from them by these evil corporations. I think it's okay to call them evil because, like, they're literally companies which make products to addict people to spend more time using their products instead of actually living life. And the biggest thing that I realized from using tons of these, spending tons of time on video games and social media, is that the more you avoid life, which this is all it is, you just play video games instead of being social because it's easier, you're just avoiding real life, the harder it's gonna be when life catches up to you. And life always catches up. So that's the action step for this video, would be to literally just go out of your house, stop distracting yourself, stop avoiding life, and attack it before it catches up to you and gives you the meanest slap in the face you can imagine. If you found this video helpful, I think you found a lot of value in this video right here. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.